But no, he was a picture of perfect health. But he had an addiction issue. And it was something that he struggled a lot with. Like, fought and fought and fought. And he would be on them and off them and on the drugs and off drugs. And he was still mostly functional too, able to hold down jobs. He would switch jobs pretty routinely, but it wasn't necessarily because he got fired. It was generally he was leaving a job because he got some sort of plan or had some money built up, went to do something else for a little bit, and then found a job again. So it's not like he was living in the streets. He was never homeless. He never really had any issues along those ways at all as an adult. He just struggled with addiction. When he was younger, he had, let's just say he had issues growing up. And that resulted in a relatively volatile personality that would probably be most easily described as antisocial, which I know is not really its own thing anymore, but uh, he got into some level of drug abuse as a teenager, but it wasn't as hardcore until he got out of high school. But the things that he did, he already had a volatile mood, and sometimes he would end up becoming violent. Now, the older he got, the more he sort of grew out of that. And one of the reasons why I can talk about him positively now, even though I have a lot of memories of him as a violent person, is there was one particular incident I can think of where I actually saw him show some regret over the way he had acted. And it was he was sitting at a computer across the room from me. He was just visiting that day. This wasn't super long before he died. So we'd been getting along and actually doing some stuff together. And he got mad for a moment and just sort of turned towards me really quickly. And the way I looked at him, the way I flinched, made him ask me, he's like, "What, do you think I'm getting ready to hit you?" And I just said, "Yes, actually." And I could see a moment on his face, and he was just like, "Oh." He didn't counteract me, he didn't fuss. It just sort of dawned on him that, yeah, I did think he was going to hit me, and it wasn't an unjustified conclusion to come to. So, but it seemed to make him sad. And that's sort of what I'm getting at. There was a time period leading up to his death where he actually seemed to be sort of turning a corner in terms of his previous behaviors. He'd gotten his prior drug abuse under control, and he'd been working towards finishing college as a personal trainer and actually kind of building up a decent social standing for himself.